Last spring, Lakeland was Florida's hidden housing gem, until the market slammed into a wall. Behind the headlines of Governor of Florida loses it after Lakeland housing market freezes, buyers panic and financial pain ripples statewide. In the spring of 2024, homes in Lakeland typically found a buyer in under 2 months. Fast forward to this year, and that figure has ballooned to nearly 83 days, almost triple the pace during the pandemic boom. Veteran agents describe listings that once sparked bidding wars now sitting untouched for weeks, with open houses drawing more curious neighbors than prospective buyers. Analysts tracking the raw numbers note that for every home sold in January 2025, nearly 5 remained on the market. Pending sales, once a reliable indicator of future closings, fell by more than 25% compared to the previous year. The median time to first offer now stretches well past a month. The numbers point to a fundamental power shift, one where buyers, not sellers, hold the upper hand for the first time in years. Absorption rates in Lakeland have collapsed to levels not seen since the last housing downturn. Economists point to the absorption rate collapse as the tipping point. When sales volume shrinks this dramatically, leverage flips almost overnight. The market's ability to clear inventory has broken down, and price declines become not just possible, but likely. For Lakeland, the numbers tell a story of stalled momentum, a market where buyers hold all the cards and every unsold home adds to the pressure on prices. The freeze is no longer just a feeling, it's visible in the data, and it's changing the way every deal gets done. Showings in Lakeland have become a numbers game few want to play. Veteran agents report that nearly 40% of scheduled tours are canceled at the last minute, sometimes hours before the doors are set to open. The inboxes of top-producing realtors fill with emails from buyers backing out, citing cold feet, financing snags, or a new listing down the street with a bigger price cut. One broker summed it up in a late-night message: "We have more listings than showings. Everyone is worried. Sellers are panicking. Buyers are waiting. It's like deja vu from 2007. Requests for concessions now arrive with every offer. Buyers demand closing cost credits, insist on repairs for minor cosmetic issues, or push for new appliances to sweeten the deal." In Highland Meadows, a 3-bedroom that once drew 10 offers in a weekend now sits through its 3rd open house, with the seller fielding requests to cover a year's worth of HOA fees just to get a contract signed. Agents, who just 2 years ago could set offer deadlines and watch the bids roll in, now spend their days managing expectations and drafting addenda for price reductions. The mood in broker meetings has shifted from optimism to quiet dread. One agent, with 2 decades in the business, describes the current market as a staring contest where everyone blinks. Sellers who refuse to budge on price watch their listings grow stale, while buyers, emboldened by the surplus, walk away from deals if their demands aren't met. Show cancel rates hover near record highs, and the flood of concessions has become standard operating procedure. For many in Lakeland, the numbers are no longer just statistics. They're the backdrop to daily conversations about lost equity, tougher negotiations, and the uneasy sense that the market's old rules no longer apply. Lakeland's price correction is now impossible to ignore. By April 2025, the average home value in the city has dropped by about $11,700 compared to the previous spring, according to the latest Zillow trendline. That's a 3.6% decline on paper, but the pain for sellers runs deeper. Nearly 46% of homes listed above $350,000 have already taken a price cut, with reductions often stretching into the tens of thousands just to get noticed. In the mid-tier segment, the share of listings slashing prices hovers around 39%, a level rarely seen outside of major downturns. The numbers play out in real time on neighborhood feeds and brokerage dashboards. Sellers who anchored their expectations to pandemic-era highs now find themselves adjusting downward, sometimes more than once before an offer comes in. The median price in Lakeland sits at $315,628, but that figure masks the spread. Some sellers in Highland Meadows and Crystal Ridge have accepted offers nearly $30,000 below their original list price after months of carrying costs and stalled showings. One owner in South Lakeland, who listed a 4-bedroom for $389,000 in late 2024, watched as the listing sat untouched for weeks. After 2 price drops totaling $25,000, the only offer came in at $349,000, barely enough to cover the remaining mortgage and closing fees. Stories like this are now common across Polk County, with agents reporting that equity built up over the last 3 years is evaporating faster than anyone expected. The climate for sellers has shifted. Discounts are no longer a tactic, they're the cost of entry. For many, the question isn't how much profit can be made, but how much loss can be limited before the next price cut arrives. Monthly payments in Lakeland have taken on a life of their own, stretching household budgets in ways few anticipated just a year ago. For a typical first-time buyer looking at a median-priced home, around $315,000, the sticker shock doesn't end with the sale price. At today's rates, a 30-year fixed mortgage at 6.7% puts principal and interest near $2,000 a month. But that's only the beginning. Insurance premiums, once an afterthought, now rival the mortgage itself. Annual policies in Polk County routinely hit $5,000 or more. Builders who relied on institutional capital to finance new subdivisions now face the prospect of mothballed projects and renegotiated loan terms. Homeowners who counted on steady appreciation are discovering that their equity cushion is thinner than expected. Each new appraisal markdown or REIT downgrade adds another layer of uncertainty, amplifying the anxiety already running through Florida's housing corridors. The billion-dollar risk is no longer hypothetical. It's written in the fine print of every deal, every loan, and every price cut that follows. In April 2025, Lakeland's housing inventory surged by 35% with over 3,200 homes listed and median days on market reaching 83, a sharp reversal from the rapid sales of just 2 years prior. This freeze triggered a 3.6% drop in home values and a 39% rate of price cuts, while monthly mortgage and insurance costs soared past $2,000. Statewide, similar patterns emerged. Tampa's prices fell $45,000, and Miami-Dade's inventory rose 22%. The July 14th NOAA hurricane advisory led to a $7,500 insurance premium ceiling, 11,000 citizens transfer requests, and a 38% sales drop in South Florida. Despite these clear warning signs, the long-term impact on Florida's housing stability and insurance market remains unresolved. Key policy documents on future carrier participation and state intervention are still undisclosed. What is clear? The Lakeland freeze is not an isolated event, but part of a broader statewide shift where risk, affordability, and uncertainty now define the market.